welcome. It's been a while. Welcome, my soldiers and soldierettes, to another EBX discussion. And I call down that protection from our great creator for ourselves, from ourselves, so we don't become our own worst enemy. And if you alive and breathing, that means you doing good. I don't even have to ask, because a lot of those have transitioned and passed, young or old. And that's what leads me to these honors. Let's get to those honors. I honor thy ancestor. I honor thy father. I honor thy mother. But my mother's still alive and vibrant. And may of those in my family that have passed or transitioned, may they rest in peace and in power. And of those in your family, may they rest in peace and in power. And I always gotta put that gold over us. May any of our families, yours or mine, may we prosper in everything we touch, turn to gold. And welcome to the power of silence. And the higher power listens to us when nothing will or no one else will. I always say person, place, or thing. We always got to keep our brain broad. Keep that paintbrush picture at a broad stroke, and always analyze and break down people, places, things. And the power of silence can help with this. And I've talked about this on many occasions, other videos, some podcasts. One of my videos that got the most views is called The Power of a Silent Alpha Male. And if you like, you can check that out. So this is kind of another chapter of that, and the importance of staying in tune with that higher power, which a lot of my high vibrational reachers and teachers out there already know this. And I salute anyone that reaches and teaches and mean well and coming straight from the pit of the soul, especially if you're melanated. And like I say, everybody go through different ways and different channels. But as long as we're seeking righteousness and we got that full-on inner peace within and nothing can stop us, and we got that unstoppable thinking, we on the right path. That's something all you'll hear me say a lot, because it's very, very important. If you righteous within and you have no malice, you're not a snake, and you're not looking to get over, you're not trying to get attention, and you just being true to oneself, you're on the right path. And that's what it's all about. Because I hate to say the same thing over and over again, but some things need to be heard. And I don't upload a lot, so I'm gonna, and that leads me to say, what we do righteous in the present will what, ladies and gentlemen, benefit us in the future. Always remember that, and keep ourselves as much as we can. But that's why we have to practice. That's why you'll hear me say, and many other teachers say, study ourselves on the what I always say, on the regular, on the daily basis. Yes, everything. Study negative areas, study positive areas, every area we can, so we can always stay, as we lovely teachers like to say, balanced. Because being balanced is a beautiful thing. And my ladies, my brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, I know you probably hear a lot of us teachers say some of the same things, because we have experienced these things. We know what will get results. We know ways to come up with solutions. And if you're following or listening, I won't say following, if you're standing with a great teacher out there, brother or sister, and they giving you good information, and this bringing a positive change in your life, listen to that brother. We have to learn to listen to each other too. But most of all, we listen to that higher power, because the higher power is the one that will be with you in those quiet moments when no one else is around. That's when you speak to that higher power. Because remember, when we're by ourselves, we also get attacked sometimes by those negative forces that you'll hear a lot of us soldiers and soldierettes, our teachers out here, salute, talk about. So that's why it's very, very important to stick with that higher power. And what I always say that higher power consists of, I said this before, but I'm going to say it again. 3 forces, because I want us to know this. That higher power consists of 3 forces. And I know like I say, I know there's other conceptions of God, but like I've said, it's all reaching for that higher force. And that consists of what? That I was getting ready to say. That greater creator, Mother Nature, and the universe. All the God conceptions that a lot of us have, they all tie into the same thing. As long as we're right within and we're seeking to listen to that higher self. That's what it's about at the end of the day. And if we, especially those that are beginning on a new walk and coming into new things, and things seem weird and you don't know why certain individuals act the way they act. This is just an example, just in general, because those of us with a high vibration, when we first came into this walk, we didn't understand a lot of things and why things happen the way they do or the way they did. But when we're led by the higher power, he will show us. As long as we're moving with that great force, that positive force, we're moving with it. It won't be no confusion. Maybe something that we might not understand, but there'll be no confusion when you're led by that higher power, because the higher power will give you that confidence within to let you know, even though you don't know why things are happening the way they are, subconsciously you know why. You don't know why. Let me re-say that. You don't know why some things happen the way they happen, but subconsciously you do know. You don't know, but you do know, because you're led by that higher power. And I know that sounds kind of weird, but those of us on a high vibration, you know where I'm coming from. It's like we don't know, but we do know. And that's what keep us. You hear a lot of Christians say I don't say faith, but that's where faith comes in. And there's no faith without works. We have to put in the work, and because even though I'm not into religion, I'm not into Christianity or other religions, we still have some of the same spiritual teachings, so to speak. It just depends on the individual. It's not the walk we're on. It's the individual that's on the walk. It's how our mindset is. But one thing that we all have to have, and most of my high vibrational brothers and sisters that's already made it to that success state of mind already know this. But for those that are just beginning, always be true to oneself, no matter the walk that we're on. If we're on a righteous walk, well, I mean, any walk in general, of course we have to be good within, because nothing comes from bad but bad. What you produce out to the universe will give back to you. Because one thing I've said, and a lot of us have said, that higher power don't play. Don't play no games. All of us that have lived somewhat of a dysfunctional life, way in the past, or did some toxic things, we know. And for those that are mean, sneaky, and evil, I touch on this a lot. I've made podcasts about this. Like I said, the higher power is laughing at you. But if you're really not trying to fix yourself, and you don't care about your behavior and how it affects others, and it's sad. You'll find yourself in a really, really sad state of affairs, because there is no worse prison. There is no bad prison, no worse prison that you can ever be in is the one that's mental, because you don't have to go to jail to be in jail. And it's really sad. It's more than just talking about it. When you see it in individuals and people that are unaware, it's a sad thing. I don't take things like that lightly, because I was that individual at one time, as with a lot of my brothers and sisters out here. Salute my soldiers and soldierettes. We all have been at a low point in our lives. That's why it's so sad to us that are empathetic and empathetic, in my super empaths out there, when we see it in others, it does make us sad. And it's never too late to wake up, a lot of us say, but you still don't want to wait, too late, especially if you're somewhat, strong physically and you do have somewhat of a strong mind. Take that time and try to change. We are in the days of awakening. We have I've heard a brother say, I heard one of my great content creators, because I listen to content creators, because again, I'll say a lot of brothers and sisters along with my family and my family. Don't let my family out. My family, brothers and sisters I have met along the way, friends I've grew up with. I will never forget those that have helped me along the way. And the higher power, that force, had a hand in that, and always has a hand in our lives, but we have to stay focused on it. Remember, I'll say this to them blue in the face. That higher force, that greater supreme being, holds us to a high standard, especially if he has chosen us, so to speak. He has called us. And those of us with a high vibration, if you've been called. If you've been called to do something for our people, for yourselves, for your family, and for the greater good of the world. We know if we've been called for this. That's why that higher power don't play with us. If you put yourself in that position, don't play no games with it. And I'm speaking for myself too, because I have experienced this, and I get attacks too, and that's a new thing. My new brothers and sisters on this walk that's just beginning. You're going to get attacks. Things are going to come. That's why you have to take those moments and study and learn how to become powerful in those silent times. And when you're silent, think about things before you react. If you come into something that's, you don't know, they're treating you a certain way or acting a certain way, look within yourself. See if you've done anything wrong first. It's not like taking the blame or nothing, but this is how you protect your silence. You protect your spirit. And you find out, because we are all, as a lot of my teachers say, we are all responsible for our own happiness. So if you come into individuals that treat you a certain way for no reason at all, don't take on any responsibility for their actions. Just be good, stay on tack. Because remember, sometimes people have evil forces working through them. Sometimes they have entities working through them that they don't even know. So we got to remember that. That's why we got to stay within our higher conscience, so we can detect things like this, so we don't react and become like that person, place, or thing that might be toxic. So that's when you go into your silent mode and you analyze things, and we break things down. And that will make for a powerful brother and sister, soldier and soldierette. Because that's the goal. That's what we're trying to achieve, to stay a soldier and soldierettes. Because there's too many people out here that's hurting. It's a lot of people that's having a really challenging and hard battle to keep their mental straight. It is not easy keeping a calm, cool, collected spirit. It is not easy keeping a strong mental state. It takes work, and it takes years. You have to put in years depending on the individual. Some people can strengthen up quick, don't take nothing, and some it takes a while. Me, myself, it took me a long time. And the fight never stops. You have to keep that guard up. You have to keep fighting. Again, like I've said many times before, you never get to a point where you say, oh, I am good, I don't have to worry about nothing. Yeah, if somebody thinking like that, they just stupid. No, the fight always must go on. Now things become a little simpler if that's a word. Things become a little more easy because we become more aware and we pay more attention to things. Things don't, there's always going to be negative forces, but there are less negative forces when you keep that power of silence and we talk to that greater, higher power. Because remember, like I said, the higher power listens when no one else will, when nothing else will. We have to remember that, my brothers and sisters. Don't get outside of ourselves. Don't lose our character. Stay within. Don't let that human side dictate our walk. Because our human side ain't shit. Let's just keep it real. Our human side is like a toxic a toxic entity that just like a net that keep bothering. That's what our flesh is. That's why I'm telling you, and it's getting real. It's not a game. It's more than just talking. I'm telling you, we really, really do have to pay attention to our thoughts, what's in our body, our mind, because if it was up to our flesh, if we didn't have strong mental minds, my brothers and sisters, our flesh don't give a shit. Our flesh wants what it wants. So that's why you will hear a lot of us soldiers and soldierettes salute our teachers out here, our brothers and sisters. That's why you will always hear us say, study your inner, so that outer won't take you over. Because remember, folks, the flesh ain't shit. Do not rely on our flesh. Never rely on the feeling of the flesh. No, you go of the spirit, of the body and the mind and the soul, and stay there and incubate there. Never leave there, because that's where the higher power lies, right in the pit of our soul, right at that stuff that some of us have to take a shovel to dig out, but go there. Don't be afraid to go there. And I'm telling you, it's a gift that keeps on giving. Just stay with that higher power, especially for those in the beginning. Stay in that higher power. If you feel any hinkling of confusion, go to that higher self. Go by yourself and really do some deep meditation. I'm talking to the bottom of the ocean, and really get to the pit of our thinking and keep ourselves sane, because we got to be there to help those. We never know who we'll come into contact with that we change our lives just by saying a positive word. You never know who life you might be saving or changing. And I know we can't save everybody, but sometimes the higher power will give us those little wild moments where we actually do save someone. If you got a saving spirit, sometimes you save someone without even knowing you're saving them. That's why you have to lose yourself in positivity and in that higher power. The power of silence is the best weapon you can use to anyone that's trying to harm you or your family. I'm talking about if it's an emotional attack, a psychic attack. Physical is a whole different thing, because sometimes now fighting is a last resort, because we don't think when we're angry. We don't think when we're fighting. Nothing is getting reasoned with when we're fighting. So physical is always the last resort. Of course, we have to defend ourselves. We can't let nobody put their hands on us. But let's start with the mental first. Let's see where the anger is coming from, why a person, place, or thing is attacking, and really go deep and study it and figure it out and come up with a solution. And don't just fight off of a whim. Overstand things first. Never jump off an impulse. Like I've said in the past, ladies and gentlemen, impulses can be fucking poison. So be very careful. Now, we can have good righteous impulses, because the good righteous impulses can bring the most beautiful music, beautiful artwork. We have some great content creators out there that come from a great righteous impulse. But, then the flip side, we have those that don't think and are out here and not using social media for good things and appreciating the good things it can bring you and give others. We have those that are some that are young, and we have some that are adolescents that don't give a shit what they do on social media, and impulses is just out of control. And those that are doing that and don't care about what they do and toxic, that are those that are not taking the time to listen to that higher power, because that higher power is always with us and will always be with us, especially if you're righteous. But even if you're not, he's still with you. He's always with us. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, he has brought us through everything, even those that act like they don't see him. But at some point, you will come to him. It's just like that truth. Everybody comes to that truth. I don't think it's a matter of people not coming to the truth. No, I think we all do. Some of us just ignore it. Some of us just don't pay attention to it, but it's still there. So that's my thought. The power of patience, ladies and gentlemen, when we need to, or the power of silence, power of patience too. And I got a video on that actually. I just put up in a trailer. I think it's a trailer or a preview for returning subscribers. It's called The Power of Patience. But this particular podcast is The Power of Silence. And I say it's the best weapon, and I mean that in a righteous way, a positive way. I mean, a weapon against anything toxic, not just people. I mean, it could be anything, you know. So, but we have to connect to one another. And remember, that higher power listens when nothing else will. I want to say nobody, but I want to say nothing else. Because I don't ever want to make nothing a personal issue. Because I do have love for humanity. Because I have had a lot of my family, for one, and brothers and sisters. I've had people help me along the way, even those that I've never seen and never met, but still help me. And that's how powerful we can be, ladies and gentlemen. We can be miles away and just talking to each other and be that powerful. If we're in tune with ourselves and we connecting like that, we are truly alive. We are connecting to one another in that higher power. And this is for myself too, because I really do get trapped in solitude and my silence. And we do have to be careful that, that we don't let ourselves become, not too antisociable, spread the love, and this is mostly for myself too. I'm working on this, but at the root of my heart, I got love and nothing but education and inspiration for my brothers and sisters, my family, friends I've grown up with, brothers and sisters I've, maybe have spoke to online that has helped me. I've actually had a brother help me grow my channel. I'm telling you, the power of silence and listening is a very beautiful thing. You absorb so much great things, and it stays within you. It never leaves. Remember, you learn from a teacher. You only feel good from a preacher. When you learn from a teacher, it stays with you forever. So I salute to the brothers and sisters that have built this soldier before you, those who listen to me and those that I have listened to. Power of silence has helped me with all of this. So listen to that higher power. When you lose oneself in that higher power, you will become unstoppable, so empowered it'd be crazy. Real talk. So cherish those silent moments. And I know we have to connect with one another because we have to show love with one another. But appreciate those great times that higher power talks to us when we are to ourselves. And that is my thought. That's my positive thought. That's my real thought. And I give honor to your family, my family. I give honor to my children, their mothers, brothers and sisters, reachers and teachers, my soldiers and soldierettes. May you have peace in your part of the world, wherever you are right now. And thank you for coming in to a wonderful, great EBX discussion. And I got to say one more time, my brothers and sisters, may you have peace in my family, in your part of the world, wherever you are right now. One.